Number 1, if it gives us any set, we should be able to figure out any others. If I were doing this one, I would have added another one. And again, it doesn't matter. You probably still got there, but I'm just making it to where I don't have to use a calculator. What could I easily reduce both of those by, Ellie? 10. If I reduce them by 10, it'll drop the 0. So I would get 4, 25, and 25.
That's already up.
I know. But I'm saying when I look at tables, the first thing I'm doing is trying to reduce it, especially if they're those big ones, because that makes the numbers easier to work with. Then when you're looking, it's like, hey, I'm trying to get to 25. I already know that that one has to be 425. Okay, if you show work, it'd be divide by 10. Divide by 10. The bottom dot's not showing up. Okay? Now what? Afton?
You can get 25 down to 1.
Okay, how can I get 25 down to 1?
Divided by 25.
Divided by 25.
You have to do that on the other side to get
17. Okay, because there's 16 quarters and $4 and one extra is 17. Anybody's brain work like that? Okay. Ethan, how do I get from 1 to 3?
Right here.
Nope, this way.
Oh, downstairs.
Times 3. Dom, what's 17 times 3?
51.
51. Owen, how do I get from 51 to 510? Times 10. Aubrey, what's 3 times 10?
3 times 10
Is 30. Okay, did it ask me any other questions? Okay. So it gave me an exchange rate. If you travel to foreign countries, there's always an exchange rate if they use a different currency other than the US dollar. It's important to be aware of those currencies. So like here it's saying 250 US dollars is the same as 4,250 pesos. So if you are in Mexico and like if it says a chapstick is 800 pesos, what does your brain go to? $800. Is that the same thing? No, not even close. Okay? So just looking, it's about double, okay? Not close, but it's about double. So if it's 800 pesos, it would be about how many dollars?
But why would
Not 45.
like 2?
4.
I'll close this.
Sorry. Look, get rid. There's an extra digit. Extra 0.
You said 800.
Divide it in half and cut off a digit.
Oh.
Cut off a 0. Okay? So like 1,000 pesos is about $5. Because you would think 1,000, half of that's 500. Sorry, 2 digits. Cut off 2 digits. It's about $5. And it's hard to exchange currencies because there's not like it's not a pretty. Like if you were doing the math, it wouldn't be a pretty number. When I went to Cuba, it was the US dollar has higher value than their currency. Okay, it's called the Cuban peso, I believe. And the exchange rate, again, it's hard to exchange them. So when I would go to purchase something, they would want my US dollars. They do, okay? But they would give me Cuban pesos as change. But then when I would go to trying to spend the Cuban pesos, they would tell me no, US dollars only. So I came home with all of this Cuban money that I can't spend in the US. I could have exchanged it at the airport, but it came out to about $20 and it's just kind of nice to have. Yeah. Well, I would like to go back, but I don't think it's safe to go back currently. Yeah, but it's neat just to have and like show my kids. And there was a time where I brought it to show students one time. So I had it like in the change, like in my with the rest of my change, and one of my girls grabbed it to put it in like a soda machine, and it falls through because it's even the weight. It looks like a quarter, but the weight of it's different, and those machines are made to know. So it like fell right through, and I'm like, why? And she brought it back, and she's like, this quarter won't work, and I'm like, that's because that's not a quarter.
Wait, so are they all like the same size, or are they?
No, they're different. It's probably. Yeah, it's probably slightly smaller than our quarter. Is their coins? They have dollars too. I'll see if I can find some and bring them in. I might know where they're at.
So do you just have 4,000 little coins, or is it like?
No, I have some dollars too.
What aren't
Are
they
they
dollars
made of
like
paper?
little gold plates?
No,
What are they?
like paper dollars.
They're just
Like Egyptian, like they.
Like, did they have like how many like different coins? Are they just like 4 different?
I don't know.
It could be like thousands.
Okay, but there's lots of different currencies, tons of different currencies. But all of those currencies have an exchange rate, which tells you $1 US is worth this many pesos. Okay, or 6 pesos is equal to this many euros, or whatever. It gives you a conversion. So if you're trying to flip from one currency to the other, there's something that's known to be true. $1 US is equal to this many pesos. Most of the time it's decimal numbers though. Yes?
What about Canada? Do they have different?
Yes, they have a different currency. Yes, okay. Number 2. This one was the second part was a little bit trickier, but once I show it to you, you'll be like, oh, that was easy. So there are 3,785 milliliters in a gallon, and there are 4 quarts in a gallon. For each, explain or show your reasoning. Part A, how many milliliters are in 3 gallons? Ethan, what ratio should you have started with?
4 and 1.
No, because we're going we need the one with milliliters and gallons.
3.
Right here. 3,785 over 1, and it's milliliters and gallons. What am I trying to get to, Lily?
3 gallons.
I'm trying to get my gallons to 3. So I need this number up here. Lily, how do I get from 1 to 3? Times 3. Lily, what did you get when you took 3,785 times 3?
11,000.
Oh. What'd you get? 11,000? 55. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
11,355. What's my label? Milliliters. Okay, and even though that number seems high, remember that Germex bottle over there is about 1,000 milliliters. Okay, so that small liter over there is about 1,000 milliliters. So a gallon would be about 4 of those, which is about 4,000. 3 gallons, 4 times 3 is 12, so about 12,000. That answer makes sense. Who thinks they got the next one right without help yesterday? Okay, Hallie, what did you do?
I did the milliliters and gallons, so I did 3,785 over 1.
Okay.
And then if I divided 1 by 4, you would get 1/4, which is 1 quart. And then you divide 3,785 by 4, you get 946.25.
Okay. So let's talk about this. So they gave us 2 different conversions. So let's start with the 3,785 over 1. That's milliliters and gallons, right? But it says it wants milliliters and quarts. Notice this says 1 gallon equals that, or 1 gallon equals that. So what does that tell us about this one and that one? They're the same, they're equal, okay? It's like saying 4 quarters equals $1, 10 dimes equals $1, so 10 dimes equals 4 quarters. Does that make sense, kind of? So we could have changed, I don't want to clear the whole thing, this to 4 quarts. Because if 3,785 equals a gallon and 4 quarts equals a gallon, then 3,785 milliliters equals 4 quarts. And again, a lot of people probably didn't go there, and I think Hallie got there, you just went the long way about it. So I'm trying to get to 1 quart. Hallie, how do I get from 4 to 1? Divide by 4. Did you end up doing that same math in your problem somewhere?
Yeah.
3785 divided by 4?
I just divided 1 by 4 to get 1 quart.
Yeah. Okay, so how do I get from 3785 divided by 4? What do we get? Someone type it in.
Oh,
946.25. Label would be milliliters. And that actually gives me the conversion for quarts to liters. No, liters, because I know 1 quart is that many milliliters. I know 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. So,
So 1 quart is about 1 liter?
yeah, remember those are our most comparable two between metric and, so yeah, they're barely off by about 50 milliliters, 50 raindrops. Okay, number 3. This one was a weird problem. I told the other class just to solve it.
Yeah. How would you get?
So let's solve it first and then we'll discuss it, okay? Let's solve it first and then we'll discuss it. This problem actually goes back to 5th grade conversions, which we didn't do last year, okay? We had to cut that out at the end because of all the craziness. We just didn't get to it. For easy conversion problems, there is a trick, okay? But in our book, they don't give us the easy ones. So it told us 4 quarts is a gallon, and she wants to convert 6 quarts to gallons. So I would have started with 4 quarts equals 1 gallon, and it's trying to get me to what? 6 quarts. I'm trying to figure out how many gallons are in 6. Can I easily get from 4 to 6? I'm going to skip over it and come back. So I'm going to go from 4 to what?
2.
2 would probably be easier. Less math.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought 2.
So if I divide by 2, I would get 2. Can I take 1 divided by 2?
Yeah.
Half. How do I get from 2 back to 6?
Times 3.
Times 3. What's half times 3?
1 and 1/2.
1 1/2. Okay? So hold on. Now, to answer the question, we're converting 6 quarts to 1.5 gallons. Which label is larger? Gallons are bigger. My number should be smaller. So if my only options are multiply or divide to get there, if I'm starting with a smaller unit, I would always have to divide to get there because I need a smaller number for the larger unit, okay? When they are easy problems in 5th grade, that's the only rule I teach you. You don't learn anything about ratios. You don't learn anything about proportions or all of this craziness. You either just multiply or divide. Okay, next one. Tyler has a baseball bat that weighs 28 ounces. Find this weight in kilograms and in grams. And it says, note, 1 kilogram is about 35 ounces. Start with the given information. 1 kilogram, 35 ounces. have flipped those if I wanted to? Yeah, so if you have this exact same thing flipped the other way, are you still correct?
Yes.
Yes. But I'm trying to get to 28, and I'll skip a spot this time instead of going over it and back. Because I can't easily get from 35 to 28, so I skipped a spot. Dom, where can I hit first? What can I go down to and then back up to 28? I'm trying to think of a number that I can get. If I divide by something, I can get it and then build it back up to 28. So a number that goes into 35 and 28. 7. So if I can get this number to be a 7, I can get where I need to go, right? Elise, how do I get from 35 to 7? Divide by 5. And then 7 times what equals 28, Elise?
4.
Times 4. So then I just have to follow that same process on top. Dawson, what's 1 divided by 5?
0.
Don't overthink it.
0.1.
1 divided by 5, Lily?
1/5.
1/5. But you should also know that that's 0.2. Why? That's a common one. But then times 4. 1/5 times 4. 4/5. Or you could have 0.8. Not 80%. We can't do percents in these, but we can do fractions or decimals. So what does that mean? His bat weighs how much? Hallie?
0.8 kilograms.
Yeah, 0.8 kilograms, or you could say 4/5 of a kilogram. The second part said grams, and if you look, does it give us a conversion to change kilograms to grams?
No.
Does anybody know what it is? It's the same for any unit to its kilo. Leo? It's 1,000, okay? Same thing from like meters to millimeters, kilometers. It's just going opposite directions. So 1 kilogram, oops, I need to put that on the other side. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams.
So the kilo means like bigger? What does kilo mean?
Kilo's bigger. Remember, that's like a book. A gram is like a raisin.
Oh, there's a
Paper
big
clip.
difference.
Yes, there's a big difference, okay? So we are trying to get, we'll do 0.8. Kilo, well, we start with the conversion. I'm trying to get to, I'm trying to think the easiest way to go about this. I'm trying to get my kilograms to, I'll just do 4/5 over blank.
Wouldn't you have to have another step in there?
Maybe.
Because that's hard.
It is hard. What do you get to use that makes this easier? Calculator. So you can either do, but to figure it out, what do I have to type in? Oftentimes that's the hardest.
Divide by 1.
4/5.
Divide by 1. Because you can't do 1 divided.
Okay, so first you have to think, is this getting bigger or smaller?
Smaller.
It's getting smaller, so this will be divide.
So 1 divided by 4/5.
I don't know, try it. Is 1 divided by 4/5 4/5?
Wait, that'd just be 4/5.
Is, oh, I guess.
4/5 divided by 1 is 4/5.
Well, you could just.
Oh, yeah.
That's because we want to. I can't even do it.
That's why calculators aren't always helpful.
That's fine.
Okay, let's try. Let's see if this makes more sense. Because we said this is the same thing. Does that help at all?
Because it's the same thing.
Divide by.
Okay, so let's change this.
I divided it in multiply by 8 cents, right?
Does that help? Because why did we choose division? Why did we choose divide? Because the number got smaller.
Wait, if you multiply by a decimal.
If you multiply a number by a decimal less than 1, your answer will get smaller. Okay, I'm just trying to walk you through what your brain might think. Can you think of something that if I take 1 times it, I will get 0.8? Do not pick up your calculator for that. 1 times what equals 0.8?
Oh, 1 times 1 fifth. No.
You're not wrong, but you're making.
0.8.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. But I was trying to go where you guys would go. If you see the numbers getting smaller, your brain says, oh, I have to divide. But when we're working with decimals and fractions, that's not always true. 1 times 0.8 is 0.8. Is that true? So my multiplier is just 0.8. What's 8 times 1,000? Don't know. 8,000. But I need 1 decimal place. 1 decimal place. 800 grams. Whew.
Yeah, that's confusing. We can do it the easier way, right? Yeah, that's not so easy.
Number 5.
Yes, there is.
There's a way.
That's the 5th grade problem where they just divide by 1,000 or multiply by 1,000. Mile, what am I measuring? Myers? Miles. Meyer, what am I measuring? What? Length. Lily, cups. Volume. Jake, pounds. Weight. Ethan, centimeters. Dom, liters. Grams. Afton? Weight. Aubrey, pints. Yards. Leo? Length. Elise, kilograms. Mass or weight. Yep. Teaspoon, Dawson?
Teaspoon would be volume. No.
Yes, that's right. Milliliter.
It has to do with water.
Volume. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, anything that has to do with water is a volume.
Anything with liter.
Yeah, liquid.
Yeah, liquids. Because you can't measure the length of it, like you don't measure length, your height in teaspoons or your weight in teaspoons.
I mean, it could be 10.
Number 6. This one was a part whole. Okay? This one was a part whole because it gives us a ratio of almonds to what? Raisins? Almonds to raisins, it says is 7 ounces to 5 ounces. And it says how many ounces of almonds would be in a 1 pound bag of this mix, which means they're mixing those two together. So that means the total is involved, but these are in ounces, so the total needs to be in ounces. 1 pound is how many ounces? So that's 16 ounces, and this one wasn't easy. So I have to get my total to 16. What is my current total of the ratio? 12. Can I easily get from 12 to 16?
No.
Where could I go first, Leo?
Could divide it by 3 to get 4.
Okay, so if I can get to 4, then I can get to 16, correct? So he's saying from here to here, I can divide by 3 and then multiply by 4. Okay, so I can get my total to 16. What is it wanting me to figure out? Just the almonds. How many almonds? So I go to almonds, I do divided by 3, get an answer, and then times 4. 7 divided by 3, don't make your life hard. Jake, what's 7 divided by 3 with no work at all? Don't even think about it.
7/13.
7/3, okay? Unless it's your final answer, keep it simple. What goes after that word? Kiss. Have I not taught you guys that yet?
What?
Kiss. One of the older kids just brought it up yesterday.
No, you told us about this.
Kiss.
We didn't hear something about
Keep it simple.
Sally.
Sure, we'll say Sally. That's a nicer word. Okay.
Oh, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, keep it simple, Sally. Okay. So 7/3. Shh. 7/3 times 4. That's a little bit harder, but we can still go out to the side. That would be 28/3. When you divide it out, what would you get? 3 goes into 28. How many times? 9 with 1 left over.
Yeah.
So 9 1/3 ounces was your answer. Why would you not want to give that as a decimal?
Because it's a repeating decimal.
Because it's a repeating decimal. What repeating decimal?
0.3.
0.3 repeating. Leo, turn around. Everybody should know that. Number 7. You probably liked it better than the rest of them. Lily, what did you get for part A? 1 what? 196. Do you guys agree? 980 divided by 5?
Yes.
196. So in 7 minutes, what is that, Ellie?
1,372.
1372.
Yep.
And that was 196 times 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm not claiming that these things are easy, okay? But a lot of the times, the hard ones, you make them harder than they need to be, okay? Some of these are very challenging, but I'm trying to get you to keep it as simple as possible. I'm going to pause this. I have a paper to pass out. Get out. Okay, so on the conversion sheet, have the conversion of customary measurement units using decimals paper out and your reference sheet that says Illinois at the top. Have them side by side. You're going to need both of them probably. Okay, it says convert the given measures to the new units. Number 1, and you're working these on back. Number 1 says 270 feet equals blank what? Yards. Okay, this is more of a 5th grade problem, but we're going to solve it in the 6th grade way because they get harder towards the bottom. First thing you have to decide is what 2 units are you focusing on? What are your 2 units that you're focusing on, Leo? What? Feet and yards. We get them from the 2 labels. Then you have to find a relationship or a conversion with those 2 labels. What is the relationship between feet and yards? Or look at your reference sheet. It should be on there. Ellie? 3 feet equals 1 yard. Is it on there? Do they expect you just to know that one? Okay, if you don't know that one, write it on your sheet. 3 feet. What? 3 feet equals 1 yard. I'm going to write it like this. 3 feet, 1 yard. You can write it like an equal sign like all of the other ones if you don't know it. How can I build off that? Where am I trying to get to, Tatum? I'm trying to get to 270 feet, so where do I need to put my 270? On top or on bottom? On top, because I'm trying to get feet to 270. So I need to find that number. How do I get from 3 to 270? Owen? Times 90. What's 1 times 90? 90. So we know that that is 90 yards. The 5th grade way is that if you are going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you divide. So you would take 270 divided by 3. 270 divided by 3, 90? Yes. Okay, but again, our numbers aren't that easy to work with.
Were we supposed to learn it last year? Or we didn't get
At the end, yeah. That's usually the very last thing we do.
We get to it?
No. We were about 6 weeks short in our time frame, and I was about 4 weeks behind in what I teach. So I made up for some of it, but not with starting late and then the hybrid time and all of the extra recording and stuff. We just were behind. And I knew you'd get it this year. So I cut out stuff that you didn't just learn in 5th grade. Okay, number 3 from the worksheet. Number 3 from the worksheet says 8 pints equals blank gallons. What 2 numbers are important, or what 2 labels am I focusing on? Leo? Pints and gallons. Is there a conversion on your paper, Hallie? 4 pints, and it should be on your conversion sheet, right? Or it might say 1 gallon equals 4 pints.
Yeah. It's 4 quarts equals 1 gallon.
But for every quart, there's
Ooh, so do we have that?
so 8 per gallon. 8 per gallon.
So can we go from pints to gallons? Is there a conversion?
Yes. Kind of.
How many cups are in a gallon?
So is 8 quarts going in 1 gallon? Can I write that?
Pints to gallons.
How many quarts are in a gallon?
So we can get gallons to quarts. Can we get quarts to pints?
Yeah, 1
Okay, so let's start. 1 gallon is 4 quarts, right? Okay. We know that. What else do we know?
That 2 pints are in a quart.
2 pints are in what?
Oh, equals
1 quart.
1 quart.
Okay, how can I do that?
Divided by 4.
Times 2.
No, times 1/2. Because that would equal 2.
No, it's just
Yeah,
times 2.
What?
Times 4.
Do we have a pint to gallon?
No. Gallon?
Mm-hmm.
No. No.
We have a quart to gallon.
Okay, we have our quart to gallon here,
No, we need a pint to gallon.
but we have a quart.
1 to 2.
Oh, 4 pints goes into 1 quart, so it's 8. It's 8.
1 gallon. No.
Wait,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
yeah, you
you
multiply
multiply
by
by
2
8.
because
Yeah, you
2
multiply by
pints
2.
equals 1 quart.
So it's 1 gallon.
Yes, multiply by 2. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We need
Yes,
Yeah.
multiply by 2.
8
Yeah.
pints to go in 1 gallon.
Exactly.
That's what we're saying.
Let's draw our gallon guy.
I confused. Okay. Oh my god.
Start with that.
2.
Quarts. Quarts.
I like it better with just 2 quarts.
Quarts. Quarts. Okay. So what do we know about pints and quarts?
Oh, 1 to 2.
So
2 pints and 2 pints in each.
2 pints in each quart.
8. 8. So it's multiply by 2.
Yeah, you just multiply by 2.
We have 1 gallon.
How many pints are in the giant G?
8.
8. Yes, there are different ways to get there. You just have to be able to get there. So if you said, hey, there's 8 pints
In a gallon.
in a gallon,
You'd be correct.
you were correct. And again, there's a million ways to get there. So I'm going to get rid of this. Now I'm going to confuse you even more. Our ratio is that there are 8 pints in 1 gallon, and I'm trying to get to 8 pints. So I need to know how many gallons that is.
Yeah, times 1. 1? It's 1.
It's just 1. And you don't have to set this up because that'd be times 1. Oops, I did plus 1. Times 1. 1 gallon.
Wow.
Whew. My suggestion, draw your giant G thing, your gallon guy, down at the bottom of your reference sheet. Draw it at the bottom of this because you'll probably need it at some point throughout the this chapter.
Can we also write the conversion from 8 to yards?
Yeah, you can add that. You can add anything to that. Okay, we're going to do one more. You guys are having so much fun.
What is
Totally. We love arguing.
how would you do millimeters to yards? A gallon person is doing that.
Wait, do you?
Yeah. No.
Okay, next one, number 5. We're doing one more. Number 5. What does it say? 0.8. It's not milliliters. You better be careful. Miles, M-I. And we're trying to change it to yards. Find the conversion for miles and yards. What do I need to... 1,760 yards equals 1 mile. Okay. Where does the 0.80 go? Now, it's a tough one again. 1 times what?
2.8.
Exact same problem. 1 times 0.8 equals 0.8. Someone type that in. Why does that answer make sense?
Because you're multiplying by something below.
Yeah, you're going less, multiplying by less than 1, so you should get less than what you started with. Okay, for homework, I want you to try and finish the odds. So just 5 through 17. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What work do you think you should have for each of those? Try and have a ratio, okay? The only way you're going to get better at them is practice them. Keep this close by. Keep this close by. You can use loose leaf, yeah, if you don't have room on back. Don't squeeze it. Just do it on loose leaf or on the back if you have room. Okay, so you're trying to finish the odds. Do you have to do the whole page? No. Do you have to do any of the evens? No, just finish that column we started. Okay, you guys may go.